I know I don't normally do this, but it's so nice outside. So I thought it was just like so perfect to record a video. And so I was wondering what I could do, what I could talk about. And at first I was like, okay, what her videos have I talked about? What have I been getting questions asked? All this type of stuff. But I think today I just want to talk about a bunch of just different stuff. And like the weather is changing seasons, and everything is just slowly changing. Like it's interesting how you just grow as a person. Like you literally just grow, and sometimes it's like you think that it's planned. Like, okay, when I go start this, I'ma change. When this starts, I'ma change. When this, but it can just happen like out of nowhere, and you would just be wondering, like, okay, so what's going on? Like, why am I starting to realize all this stuff? Why is everything just seem different now? Am I a different person? Is it for the good or is it for the bad? But sometimes change, you just have to let it happen. You can't always control it. Like sometimes you may not think something needs to change, but that doesn't mean that it's not supposed to change. And other people, like, they may not understand why. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm just looking around because it's so nice outside. But other people, they might not understand why you're changing, what's going on. They might not understand you as a person and all this different stuff. But, sometimes people won't understand you. People won't understand what you're doing or what's going on with you. And that's a problem that a lot of people have. You're too busy trying to figure out other people that you can't focus and narrow in on yourself and see what's going on with yourself. And I think a lot of days people get consumed in everything that they have going on, such as all these social media, uh, other people, friends, family, just a lot of different stuff, and you forget that you have to learn yourself before you can be before you can be just how everybody like, oh, I want to be with this person, oh, I want to be with that person, oh, I want to be this, oh, I want to be that, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna be doing then. And then I'm about to graduate. What am I gonna be doing? Sometimes you just have to sit, relax, and just think about what it is that's going on with yourself. You have to just close out some of those outlets that are just leading you to wonder about other people and figure out what's going on with other people. And one thing with me, I feel like that's been going on is I'm just starting to recognize who Chelsea is, like what it is Chelsea wants to do, the gifts that Chelsea has, the passions that Chelsea has, and everything like that. Um, I've always been this type of person where I will put other people before myself. And so when somebody needed me, it's like, oh, anytime the drop of the dime, like whatever, I was always there. I was always open up myself. I want to help people. That's generally what I like to do. I like to help other people. But sometimes you have to help yourself. Like you have to stop and realize, wait, you're not even focusing on yourself. You have needs of your own that you have to focus on. So I had to like shut down a little bit. Not all the way because that's not what I was trying to do, but just kind of, keep yourself from always jumping to other people, always being there for other people. Not that that's not a good thing, because like I said, that's lovely and we always want to help other people, but sometimes we just have to put ourselves first for once in a while. I'm getting emotional. But yeah, and another thing I want to talk about is relationships. Because I don't know if it's just like the talk of the town or why everybody is so consumed with relationships. I mean, it's obvious that we all want to be with someone who's going to compliment us and just be there for us and be that person and everything else, but you can't find the person that's for you or figure out who the person is that will be for you if you don't know who you are. You know, most people my age, we're still young, we're still growing, we're still figuring out ourselves. So, first of all, we can't want somebody to be this perfect person when we're not even perfect. So I think that's like Life Jennings' song. Don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime. It's like saying that you can't want the best if you're not your best yet. So I wish people would just realize that it's not all about relationships. Like that'll come eventually, but that's not what it's all about. You just have to want to be a better you first before anything else. And another thing that I want to talk about is just being yourself. I think people struggle, and this could also be because of so much media, so much social media, so much of what everybody else is doing, that it's like nobody wants to be themselves anymore. It's like you have to be like everybody else, or be or do what everyone else is doing. Just because everybody else is interested and into this, and this, that doesn't mean that you have to be interested in that. I'm telling you, you look way so much better. I don't care if this is an example, because this is another thing that's getting me. I don't care if you got on Gucci, Prada, Louis, all these name brands. I don't care. Like that doesn't impress me. You look so much better if you have on your Old Navy, Goodwill, whatever people look down on. I don't know what it is because I don't look down on anything. But stop trying to be like everybody else. Trust me, it's not attractive at all. Boy, girl, anything. Like, just be yourself. Let your own light shine. When you be yourself, you get a chance to figure yourself out. You get a chance to figure out what it is you like, what it is you're interested in. You get a chance to just feel free. You don't have to live up to other people's expectations. You don't have to feel like you gotta do this or they won't like you, or you gotta do that because then you won't fit in. Whatever the case may be, like no, just do you. And it's just so much. I just always want to talk. I spend a lot of time talking to myself, and I just feel like we as people just need to be better. We really do just need to be better. If we would spend more time figuring out ourselves and trying to figure out other people, life would just be so much better. It really, really would. If you're passionate about something, do it, pursue it. I think a lot of times we get nervous. We feel like we can't do it. We feel like too many people have already done it. It's hard to get out there. It's hard to get your name known. It's hard to this, and that. But if you're passionate about it, just do it. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. God knows what you're passionate about. God sees your effort. God knows your heart. So just put your best foot forward, and He'll push you the rest of the way. And I'm so sure about that. Like I think I even went through that at one point. Like a lot of things I'm interested in or I want to do, and it's just like, well, what if, well, and you kind of talk yourself out of it, and you shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't. So many people are talented. So many people have so much to offer to the world, but they just feel scared and they feel like they can't do it. You can do anything you put your mind to if you're interested in, and if you give it your best effort. I'm telling you, you'll be so surprised. So many times I just discover. I don't even know how. It's like I just discover people's. It's not like I discovered them, but like I witness people's talents, and it's like, what? Why aren't you, pursue that? Like that's what you're good at. Maybe it's not the most popular job, or you don't think it'll make the most money, or somebody else might be better. Who's to say? Like God gave us all a different talent. God gave us something. He wants to show Himself through us, through our talents. He wants other people to know that, hey, if you want to do it, you can do it. If you step out on faith, I'll do the rest of the way. So that's also been kind of bugging me because I just want people to express themselves, just be you. Like the world is full of something else. You would be surprised. And also another thing, I told y'all I'm kind of just sitting out here readjusting myself. It's kind of muddy where I'm sitting, but it's okay. It's okay. But another thing is doing people wrong. Because I feel like a lot of times, I feel like people do me wrong. Which you guys may feel the same way because everybody gets done is wrong. It's inevitable. I mean, nobody's perfect. And sometimes you just have to, you can't keep dwelling on people doing you wrong. Like, if you have to forgive people, and it's not for them. Trust me. I know when somebody did me wrong, you don't want to do anything for them that matter. But this is not for them. It's for yourself. Because the more you ponder on it, the more you worry about it, you begin to stress yourself out unknowingly. Like, you might not think you're stressing yourself out, but things will begin to change. Stress can affect so many different body systems. Um, Things will be going wrong, and you'll just think, oh, maybe I'm not doing this enough. And it could simply just be stress. Like, stress can have a very, very large effect on your body. So, like, you just have to forgive people. And trust me, I know it sounds much easier than it is, because I'm struggling with this right now, and I really want to learn to forgive people. And one reason that I want to forgive people personally is because I want God to forgive me. Like, I've done a lot of things that I know aren't up to God's standards, and they aren't displaying Him in the way that He wants to be glorified. So, um, I think that learning to forgive people is very, very important for anybody, and it may be different for different people. Learning to forgive people. If you have to shut them, if you have to like write it all out and just think about, like, just do a little meditation and just whatever you need to do to forgive people. You just have to do it for yourself. You can't worry about what other people think. Like, if you have to shut people down, sometimes you don't have to explain yourself. You can't explain yourself. Like, that's just something that it just has to be done. So you just do it. And when you do learn to forgive them, it's not that you're just forgiving them and allowing them back into your life at the having the position that they once had. That doesn't mean it at all. That just means that you forgave them enough to move on with your life, to be happy and not trip off of things and be focused on that, because that's just taking up, that's just unwanted stress. That's just unwanted everything. And God doesn't want us to be mad at people. He don't want us to do that, because He's not mad at us. He wants us to forgive them and just keep going. Like, people make mistakes. We're not perfect. We just have to learn to forgive people. And sometimes, you're considered that one person that's just always there for people. But it's okay to say no sometimes. It's okay. I mean, it may take people a surprise because they're used to you saying yes all the time. But you can say no sometimes. I mean, you just can't always be. You can't always open up yourself to people. You can't. And I read a quote which really stuck with me, and it was something along the lines like, sometimes you think back and you, you it was, oh my God, I'm sorry, I don't know the exact thing, but it was saying how some people didn't even deserve to get to know you. And I thought that that was so true. We experience so many people in life. We meet people and we go through these phases. We definitely use the term friend way too loosely, but it's just a lot of things. But we live and we learn. But sometimes we just feel like, wow, I did this, this, and that. I opened up to this person. I gave them all of me that I had. I thought that I was like literally the best person, friend, or anything else for that person, and then they do something, or they constantly do something, and you just realize, wow, you step out of the situation, you reflect back, and it's like, wow, I opened up for that person, and look how they did me. Like, they didn't even deserve to get a piece of my greatness, which everybody is great in their own sense. So, it's life is all about live and learn. It's all about taking a chance. And if I reflect back on my life, I don't regret anything. I really don't. I know sometimes after something happens, we all regret it. But how could you regret something that taught you lesson? Like, everything that you've been through, everything that you've learned, everything everything, it has made you the person that you are today. So, I mean, regret, there's no reason to. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we wouldn't have done, but hey, it happened and whatever. It doesn't define us. Whatever happened does not define us, but it just helped mold us and shape us into the awesome people that we are. This is nice. Just talking, letting the wind blow. This is definitely different for me. I've never done this type of thing before, but it's great. And it's also important to know that you are valuable as a person and you have value. And settle. Don't settle for anything. Like whether it be relationships, friendships, anything that you feel like you're possibly, in a sense, degrading yourself for something. Don't do that because you are valuable, and what you expect and what God has said is for you. It will be for you, and God will provide it for you. So don't feel like anything is your last chance, or just because you feel comfortable in a certain situation, or because it's what you're used to, then that's all that life has to offer you. Because that's definitely not the case. Um, I know sometimes we get in these positions where we feel so comfortable. It's just like, you're so used to it that you can't even. I'm sorry, guys, you can't even really see me. Oh, well, I guess you don't need to see me. I'm just talking. But we get in these positions and we just get comfortable, and it's like hard. It's hard to get out of situations when you're comfortable. It's like trying to take a nail out of a wall once it's already in there. It's so far in that it's hard. You have to pull, squeeze. Sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you give up. Like, it's hard, but you have work. Everyone has work. And I think sometimes we forget that. And it's very important that we remember it. I mean, the simplest stuff that you think that you don't forget, or the stuff you find yourself telling other people, the advice you find yourself giving, you can use it yourself. Like, I had to realize that, like, I've always been one to want to help, like I already said, help, give advice, or be there for somebody, encourage somebody, motivate somebody. But sometimes you have to encourage and motivate and do all that for yourself. And for a long time, I was stuck on this whole thing because I felt like I was always pouring out and nobody was pouring in. And by that, I mean that I was always helping other people and pouring out myself and being there and supporting, whether it be emotionally, physically, financially, whatever. It was like I was always doing whatever I figured I could do for somebody else. But I felt like I wasn't getting that emotional and all that support that I needed back. So it's kind of like you're emptying yourself, but nobody's refilling you. And of course, when you do things for people, you don't expect anything in return. But don't ever think that you don't need encouragement or motivation. And you'll be surprised where it comes from. Like, it could be so random. I find myself a lot of times just thinking about random people. And when you do that, sometimes you just have to pray for them. You might not understand why God placed them on your mind or why they came up in your thoughts, whatever. And when that happens, I just say, God, please assist whoever in whatever that they're going through right now, because you never know. Like, you never know who you can just be helping by sending a prayer. Life is such to be celebrated. It's such a beautiful thing. It really is. You just figure out who who you are. It's like a journey, a never ending journey. Because you're growing, you're changing, you're meeting with people, seasons are changing, seasons of life are changing. You're getting It's just so much. And it's just a blessing. It really is. It really is a blessing. So I guess the purpose in me creating this video is because I just feel like I'm at a point where everything's changing. Like, I'm just feeling like a new person. And it's a different type of feeling. Like everything, your life your dislikes, your passions, your everything is kind of either becoming stronger or just you're just completely changing them. Like it's weird, but I'm definitely loving it. Like my feelings are changing, my attitudes are changing. Like I just think I'm becoming a better person in general, and I want to just continue to be a better person because I just want to be great. Like whatever you do, just be great at it. Like whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, just do your best. And like it's like positive vibes only. Like that's my feelings right now. Like a lot of people won't understand. A lot of people will just think a lot of things, but really, like none of that matters. Like when you're so caught up in what you're doing and who you are and what you want to be and your goals for life for you, everything will start to fall into place. Like all those things that used to bother you and worry you before, it'll seriously, this it'll just go away and you'll just feel like I don't know, like it's like a new person. So at this point, that's how I am. I just feel like positive vibes only. It's not about being mean or cutting people off or changing yourself for the bad. It's just about learning to go with the flow and allow changes to occur in your life and accept those changes and just become a better you and not worry about other people. And sometimes that's just the way things have to be. And really, that shouldn't matter anyway because if people are really for you, as they say, then it'll just people will just accept you for just trying to be different, trying to better yourself, and they won't judge you for it. They'll just accept you and know that they support you and everything else. I'm sorry if I'm rambling or I'm not really making sense, but I'm just talking. And so this is like conversations that I have with myself sometimes. And I just decided to record them. So that's why I may sound a little jumpy. I'm sorry, yeah. Like it's like the wind, snow, winning in this situation. I try to turn so that the light is better, but it's the way the wind is going, so my hair is going in my face. So I'm sorry, guys. But another thing I wanted to mention is it's okay. It's okay. I say it's okay. It's okay to to cry. It really is okay to cry, and I'm not just saying it because I feel like I'm an emotional person, but I feel like it's okay. Like like crying doesn't make you a bad person. Crying helps you actually to release yourself and to just helps you feel better. It helps you relieve yourself and just come to grip with what's going on, whatever the circumstance may be. Because if you're crying because you're really excited, you're just accepting it and you're just inviting whatever that change or that new great thing into your life, into your presence. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to have to, even if you're crying because you're sad about something, frustrated, it's okay to have to go in your room and close the door and just think about things. And I actually started a journal myself because I feel like a lot of times things will pop into my head and I would really want to write it down and just figure it out. Like, I don't mind really sharing with you, but I know the first thing that I wrote in my journal when I started it is things that you look for in a husband or things that you look for me it's a husband, but for guys, the opposite sex or whatever. And it's a great way to just just figure out, put it on paper so you can kind of visualize and think about what it is that you look for. And it helps you not settle. It helps you just figure out what it is that you like, what you look forward to, and what you want. And it's a good thing to have and to remind yourself to open up and just read. And so after that, I definitely thought, well, it's only right for me to say what I have to offer to that male or my husband, my future husband. So I began to write down all the things that I have to offer, or so more ways that I would describe myself. So journals are a great way to just, you know, Another way to relieve yourself, make videos like me. First time, just talk to somebody. You know, it's nice to have people to talk to and go on your journey of life with you and just figure things out. I mean, everybody doesn't add good to your life, of course, and some people might come in your life and hurt you, but all people aren't bad. So that's another reason why it's important to forgive people, because you can't blame other people for people's mistakes. So it's great to have someone in your corner. I'm sorry, my computer went black, so I had to unlock it again. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll start recording videos like this. Maybe I'll start a series, go more in depth about a lot of things that I was talking about, and just share my expertise, which I don't. I'm not saying I have a lot. Some of you who watch my videos are probably older than me, maybe more mature than me. But you never know who you can help by just talking, just opening up. So maybe I'll start a series. I'm not saying that for sure. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind. I do have a lot of things to say, and I actually have thought about writing. I'm really not fond of speaking, if that makes sense. Like, I would prefer to write something than speak it, just because I don't know. I kind of don't like my voice. I think it's kind of ghetto sometimes, but it's okay. I sometimes think that because I have a lot to say, and I guess when you write it, it's more so you have time to think about it. Make it make sense. Erase something. You know, you just have more time to proofread it. Proofread it. When you're talking, you just speaking it, so you really don't have time to think about it before you say it. So. But I wonder. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, life is interesting. You never know what could happen. Because I wonder why. I'm not saying that I'm super smart or I have a lot of expertise in a lot of different areas, but I definitely have learned a lot about myself, about other people, about life in general. And so I feel like I can say a lot. So I used to consider, maybe starting a book, or that's why I did the journal, or just anything. But maybe God wants me to speak. That could be it too. He might want me to get over this fear of not liking to talk. I'm actually in the midst of trying to figure out what is my purpose in life. I'm about to graduate from Truman. Yay! May 2015, graduation May 9th. That's so exciting, but I'm still trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing on this lovely place called Earth. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I know God will reveal to me what it is that He wants me to do. I'm actually starting to fast, because a lot of times we feel like we can't hear God's voice when we talk to Him. You ask Him questions, you pray. It's like, I didn't hear Him say anything. I'm waiting for an answer. And you just go about your day thinking whatever about it. But I actually want to hear from Him what it is that He wants me to do. So I'm going to fast and, basically just rid myself of some of the distractions, some of the things that I'm always so into that take up my time, so that I can actually hear His voice and hear exactly what it is that He wants me to do. Because I'm sure it's something great, because He wants me to do it for Him. So it has no choice but to be great. So I'm not really worried about it, but I would like to know. So maybe you'll see me on a cover of a book, magazine, on a stage, on a platform. Who knows? But whatever it is, it'll be great, because He's great, which means I'm great, which means you're great, which means we're all great. And so, yeah, my laptop is about to die, so I don't know. Maybe it'll go out on the video, maybe it won't. But if it does, this is nice. It'll be interesting to see what you think, about this type of video coming from me, but whatever, it's just me. It's my page. And don't forget to encourage somebody. You never know. Like I said before, you never know how much your words can mean to someone. You know, whether you're just saying smile or be encouraged, whatever you're saying, just encourage other people, motivate other people. Sometimes you need to be motivated. People need to be motivated. I know sometimes I need to be motivated. And so, yeah, definitely encourage people when you feel like you've been blessed. It's great to be a blessing to other people. God bless you so that you can be a blessing to other people. So, if you feel like you have something to share or you have something great, something happened to you, you never know what your testimony, revelation, or whatever you want to call it could do for someone else. And I'm starting to think that I'm soaking into this, oh God, this realm. But it's okay, it's part of life. It's just nature. There's parents. I can watch these things, right? But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's all I have to talk about right now. It's just what's been on my mind and what I'm thinking about on this lovely, lovely spring day. So until next time, let me know what you think, I guess. If you want to see more videos like this, if you don't. Not that I'm necessarily going to, I don't know. I will see. But let me know what you think. Bye, guys.